We used to have a ton of silverfish when I was growing up. They're like rocket ships. They're so fast.
Yeah, so are the centipedes. So if a house centipede runs by and I scream like a little girl, I'll have to edit that out of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I come down to the basement, something's on me.
Howdy, it's Tuesday, July 11th, 2023, and this is episode 206 of Due for a Win, the Atlantic City podcast. I'm Kyle Eskin, joined, as always, by Craig Stone. What's good, Craig?
As always? Can we say that?
As always. Oh, I had to leave them hanging for a little bit.
I was shocked when you sent me a message.
I was like, please post the podcast. I don't know how to do any of this.
Which was pretty hard to do from my phone, actually. I don't think I've ever done that.
I was like, I'm going to be, this strong, independent man. I'm going to do all of this on my own. I don't need Craig for anything. There's like so many buttons at like the post part. And I'm like, I don't know how to make the podcast come up. And there's like some auto-generated stuff. And I'm like, I just don't know how to get this to show up.
Yeah, that you've experienced the new block editor on WordPress, which people are not happy with at all. I'm happy that I don't do the WordPress support at my job anymore.
I'd like to think that I did at least like 9/10 of the work, but I couldn't get us over the finish line.
Editing the episode alone is 9/10 of the work. Getting a guest too.
It was particularly brutal to edit. Not because of Amy's volume levels, which were totally fine, but mine were just all over the place. It was horrible. You apparently have some volume, normalization on your side. I don't have the technology here. So it was a lot of me manually making things louder and quieter.
I run it through multiple programs, and still at the end I'm like, this should sound better than it does. But I think it sounds okay for the most part.
Yep.
We did get a question about the episode.
Oh, really?
From S100D fan on Twitter. Anyone ever counted how many times Kyle says, or whatever, in each episode?
Probably not.
No. And... ...
or whatever.
You've got me saying it too. I've noticed in my real life, I say or whatever all the time now. In the podcast, I try to cut it out, but...
Well, apparently you don't do a great job if it's been noticed to the point of people making memes, drinking games, whatever about it, or whatever about it.
So, I think before we play Always Once Never, we should talk about the last episode because it was a big deal. First guest since episode 69.
Mm-hmm.
Amy S. Rosenberg... Friend of the podcast, I think we have to say.
Friend of the podcast.
Content supplier for the podcast, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Our podcast does not exist without
Wayne Perry and Amy
real
Richburg.
Reporters, and Nicholas Yuba, and now Michelle Bernetti Post, I think, is one of the very few Press of Atlantic City reporters left standing who's actually doing this kind of reporting. We just kind of talk about the work that they're actually doing. So... She made a couple of suggestions, Amy S. Rosenberg.
Mm-hmm.
For one thing, I like how interested she was in our walking idea.
I was blown away when I invited her on the podcast, and she was like, we need to talk about walking from Margate to Atlantic City, in the email back to me.
She didn't seem totally enamored with the plan, but I think mostly because of the walking aspect, and she said, the better way to do it is to bike. And I certainly agree when it's 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, we can't walk it in August.
Okay.
But to me, part of the fun is the walking. Part of the not fun of biking is the biking. Because I'm not actually comfortable on a bike. Because I haven't ridden a bike much since I was 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you live in city areas, not much opportunity. Well, you can ride a bike all you want.
My brother lives in Canton, and he only has a bike.
Terrifying experience. To ride a bike, especially in Hoboken where there's no bike lanes anywhere. Miserable. So she also mentioned food, lots of food, and food at places that I've never heard of.
I'd never even heard of, like El Tacawate.
Right, so I feel like that has to be on the list.
Yep.
Knife and fork, we've known about forever.
Yeah, and I knew the happy hour is incredible, and we just need to do it, I think.
Yeah, we can get to a knife and fork plan, I think, in a little bit. She also talked about the Island Water Park, which I think at the time of recording had not opened.
It certainly had not. By the time of me releasing it, it was supposed to have opened, but it had not.
Nope. I can't tell if people were actually like lined up at the door and they were like, just kidding.
Yeah, no. I think people were ready to go, and they're just like, wait, we didn't actually get any of the permitting done that we had to.
Which is very Bamboozle Festival-esque of them. But it is open now. It opened on 4th of July with almost no notice. I just got a notification.
There was actually no notice.
Press of AC saying, like, the water park has opened. It's like, okay. What does that mean for our bet, by the way?
Yeah, what was our bet? Because we had a bet for the day that it opened, right?
Yeah, and so originally the opening date, for when tickets were on sale, was like July 24th.
And we said that it was an auto win for me because I had the over, but I don't remember what the actual date was. Was it like the 3rd?
I think it was like
something?
the 7th. Let's find it.
Devastating. Surely it had to be before the 4th, though, because a bet after the 4th doesn't make sense.
July 5th opening date. Full opening, not soft. I had the under. July 5th.
Damn it.
But
easiest $5 of your life?
A note. Kyle is playing under protest because of the original over-under date of June 30th.
I mean, you won, man.
I did by doing some sneaky shit.
Yeah.
I have won a cool $5. And I did not just make a note of that in the document that bet is settled, so we'll never remember. That's the best part. Anyways, it's open now. You can go. What did we say it was? $89 on weekdays or something like that?
Yes, that sounds right.
Any other follow-up after listening to your not quite solo episode?
Do I have any more follow-up? Not really. I mean, I listened to it a bunch because I had edited it.
It's true.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it was nice to have a guest on. I'm glad I was able to do it. I was glad that we didn't have 5 weeks or whatever without an episode. So
I really appreciated the locals' perspective on stuff. I thought that was good. Yeah. And also appreciated that she said that she appreciates the tourist perspective that we provide. So it was good. Thanks, Kyle. Mm-hmm. Always, once, never. Here's the category. We've done the so-called low roller, lower end casinos.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're doing Caesars casinos, which very neatly fit as 4, 5, 6 out of 9.
Would you say that at some point we're going to do the top 3?
It's possible.
All right. Anyway.
Not to spoil anything.
So you would like me to always, once, never between Caesars, Harrah's, and Tropicana?
Yeah, and so we've decided, are we sticking with this? One of them is just gone.
Right. That's fine.
One of them you can go to once, but you're leaving it.
I think that the problem with this specific one is it's too obvious, and I think there's like a 0% chance that we choose something different from each other.
Really?
I think so.
Okay, let's hear it. What are yours then? What's your super obvious, always, once, never?
Caesars is obviously the always, and Harrah's is obviously the periodically, and Tropicana is obviously going into the ocean. I don't think it's close at all.
I'm not sure I agree.
Okay.
I agree of Caesars being the always, although even that, I feel, is partly nostalgia base.
Mm-hmm.
I think the bottom floor casino at Caesars sucks.
Really? I think the Asia room's very, very nice.
Okay, that's 8% of the casino floor in Caesars.
I mean, I think it's legitimately one of the better places in Atlantic City to play some table games, if that's what you're into. But probably you don't like it as much because maybe the slot selection's not as good.
The video poker selection is fine. I just think it sucks being down there. Like, the whole vibe on that casino floor is miserable and sucks, and I hate it.
I don't agree.
It's pushing Hard Rock brightness levels. It's like a weird yellow tint.
You would like to talk about a casino floor that sucks to be on. We can talk about Tropicana. Probably the worst casino floor in Atlantic City, I think.
I don't mind it.
It's terrible. It is just god-awful.
The table game selection is bad. The video poker is bad.
The table games seem like, to me, the tables haven't been replaced since like the 90s.
It's true.
Like, it's an unpleasant place to be. The video poker sucks.
The service is not very good.
The service is clearly the worst of the three of them. Like, there's nothing redeeming about it. Like, all the towers are bad except for Havana, which is even, I think, a bit long in the tooth now.
I think that people generally like the north and south towers okay.
I don't know about that.
I don't hate Tropicana.
Are you going to
say?
Are you going to say Tropicana is your once more or periodically or whatever?
So I mean, after I just crapped all over Caesars, obviously Caesars is the always in this case. Like, yeah. That's not complimenting Caesars as much as it's an indictment of the other two.
If you were a specific type of person looking for a specific type of thing, like I could understand how someone would be able to say that Harrah's would be their always, but that's not me.
There are lots of people who Harrah's is their home casino.
Right. And I understand that if you love the pool after dark, or like if you're someone who just goes to the casino and stays there for the entire time you're in Atlantic City, like I think there's better options, but it's fine-ish, I guess.
So my problem with Harrah's is every time I go and I stay at Harrah's and spend any real amount of time at Harrah's, I just hate it by the end of it. Like I'm just tired of it. I just feel like it's not a good place to spend hours in. Whereas I feel like Trop has more non-gambling stuff to do.
At least it has the quarter. The quarter is the redeeming quality, I think, of Trop.
And they have some shows, and they have an IMAX theater and an escape room and some other stuff.
Have you ever done any of this other stuff at Trop, though?
I've been to a show at Trop. I went to a magic show. It was good. But I think since we're going always, once, never, like if I had to argue an always between Harrah's and Tropicana, I would actually pick Tropicana over Harrah's.
I would not go to Atlantic City anymore. I think Tropicana every time. I mean, the casino is so bad.
Yeah, I guess the casino is not as high on as important of part of my decision, which seems insane. But for once, and keeping it in Atlantic City, and you have to yeet something into the ocean, I think you have to say Tropicana is going into the ocean. So I tried to not really play devil's advocate, but mix it up. And I agree. I think you have to go Caesars always, Harrah's once, and stays in Atlantic City, and Tropicana into the ocean.
It's possible that if they spend a bunch of money on Trop, it could become nicer.
Which is funny. It seems like that's what they
it's
were
preposterous.
doing.
You could never say that Caesars or Harrah's could go into the ocean, though. I feel like they're both infinitely more important than Trop. So even if they did spend a bunch of money, I still think it's the one going in the ocean out of the three of them.
Probably. I mean, Harrah's...
They've got the conference center.
Has the conference center. The pool after dark is apparently like one of the most lucrative clubs in the country.
Right. I mean, I know that certainly last time I was at Harrah's, where they sold me, allegedly, some sort of atrium tower, and then the atrium tower, like the whole building was closed. So that was great. But there was like a zillion people there for some conference. So...
Yeah. There's always a bunch of like children cheerleaders there for various reasons. Probably to go to the pool after dark, as far as I can tell.
I feel like the last time I was somewhere and there was like some sort of cheer competition happening, it was Tropicana. But
oh, really?
Yeah, not Harrah's.
So that's always, once, never.
All right, so we're in agreement.
We're in agreement. It wasn't as easy a decision for me as it was for you, but at the end of the day,
it was very, very clear between the three of them. I feel like there's large amounts of empty space between each two of those options or whatever.
Interesting.
Like Caesars is clearly better than Harrah's, which is clearly better than Trop.
Harrah's and Trop are like closer to me than they probably are for most people, and Caesars is not as clear as the other two as it was 10 years ago.
Don't get me wrong. Since we've started the podcast, I probably stayed in Trop more than any other casino in Atlantic City. Because there was like the run where during summer weekends, I could only get rooms at the Trop for a while before they went into the Caesars family.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't think I was happy about that.
No, you were not. But... No. So we talked about the water park.
Uh-huh.
I did not go, even though I was 25
you were
minutes
right there.
away.
You should have gone up and done it, and done some Lucky Snake.
It was a back of the mind sort of thing if it was a rainy day, but that just never happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, other news. I don't know how much news there is to talk about other than this piece of news. The Hook show.
Mm-hmm. I've heard it was very good.
I must go. I've seen a couple of reviews on Facebook groups saying it's good.
Mm-hmm.
There is also, along with that, the Super Frico Italian restaurant, which you talked about. If you listened to episode 205 with guest Amy S. Rosenberg, you would have heard some talk of Super
she
Frico.
was talking about it. Yep.
That also got a positive review in our Facebook group. They've also announced that there are 2 bars attached to this, I guess, show, restaurant, whatever. The first is called Cheval de Plongée. No idea if I'm pronouncing that right. The press release, whatever website speak, says it is a wink to one of AC's splashiest historical attractions. Cheval de Plongée, diving horse in French, thanks for that, is anything but Au contraire, with its charming walk-up window, chic outdoor seating, and spectacular ocean views, you'll be jockeying to drink your way through CDP's inventive menu of cocktails, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so they mention outdoor dining, walk-up window, hoof steps, as they say, from the Hook's main entrance.
You didn't even mention the best part of the press release where they were talking about equine and dine.
I could only do so many puns. Yeah, you can get a chicken parm sandwich from the Super Frico kitchen, they say. This is the old beachside bar, right? Like just across from the Wild Wild West, that corner by the Dennis Tower of Caesars, the closest corner.
Yes, I assume so. What was that? Wasn't that some other shop as well?
I don't know.
At some point in their recent past. Maybe not.
And then there's so that thing is open Wednesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
There is also something called the Horse Dive Bar. So you've got a bar that is
That's funny.
Diving Horse in French, and then a bar that is Horse Dive Bar.
I like that.
Should it be Horse Dive Bar or should it be Horse Dive Bar? Like, is it a horse
I
dive
think
bar?
The pun is it can be either.
Or is it the Horse Dive Bar? They've got some very BoJack Horseman-inspired logo art on the website. The description says, a thoughtfully selected sea of boutique beers, wines, and handcrafted cocktails, including fresh takes on old faves and new classics inspired by AC's colorful history. It's inside the Hook's lobby. It's open Wednesday through Sunday, noon to midnight. I will say the cocktail menu looks decent. Has some interesting stuff on it beyond just classics. I know you're not into cocktails.
Nope, sure not.
I showed this list to my brother, who's very into cocktails, and he said, yes, it does look like a very interesting cocktail menu. But the cocktail menu at Nola's at Ocean also looked good, and the execution was not so great. So
Really? I thought you liked that place.
No,
because I
man.
know we went once, and then I think you went alone after, and then you dragged, when the big group went, you dragged everyone there again.
No, I did not go alone after. And I thought, when we went, and I thought my cocktail was, decent, not amazing. And then we went back with the big group, and my cocktail was, legitimately very bad. Everybody else seemed to like it okay, but my cocktail was, overly sour and not great.
Biased against it because there was, no place in the universe I less wanted to be than that place, on the inside. But
Interesting. AC needs more places like that, but the execution needs to be better. Not for you. For people who want to spend $20 on a cocktail.
It needs more, hams or something.
Hams? Oh, Hams beer?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, the Horse Dive Bar has Diving Horse IPA.
From the Tun Tavern?
From the Tun Tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Miller Lite and Allagash White. Those are the 3 draft beers.
That's a weird 3 to have.
I think it's great.
I kind of like it too.
You get the macro lager that everybody's going to buy. Mm-hmm. You get something local that's an IPA, and you get something a little not out there at all, but a little
it's
bit,
not out there.
A little
it's
bit different.
Pretty popular.
Yeah, but it's at least a little bit different. It's not like it's like Miller Lite, Coors Light, Goose Island
Diving Horse IPA.
Yeah, or Diving Horse. Yeah. So that's that. I want to check out one of those bars. We'll see when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it for the news, which gets us to the next part, which is the most important part.
Uh-huh.
Are we going to Atlantic City? Is that in the books? During my leave, did we figure out an Atlantic City trip?
Are we?
I think so.
I was assuming we were. I have done nothing for it.
You have not booked anything?
I haven't taken off work yet.
Whoa. I thought you booked a room.
No, I haven't booked anything.
I have so much planned. I have so many things I want to do. I mean, we should save the trip planning for next episode because there's going to be another episode. But do you even know when you'd get there and when you'd leave or anything?
No, I mean, it sounded like you were talking to me about, you had a bunch of texts to me about Dave's plans, and so, I could play it by ear. I mean, so it sounds like everyone's going to be gone by the latest at 9 a.m. on Saturday?
I don't necessarily have to leave that early, but we'll see. It would be a little more annoying to leave later than that, but it could be done. But it really depends. It definitely seems like our friend Dave is the only one of our mutual friends who's going. Mm-hmm. You had mentioned your friend Zach possibly going. Was his status? I
mentioned it to him. He's like, oh yeah, we'll talk about it next week. And that was 3 weeks ago. I'll mention it to him again. I mean, it doesn't mean he's not going. If you know Zach, he's just very seat of his pants like me, which is probably why we get along. But
so we haven't said dates. Thursday, August 3rd to
Friday, August 4th / Saturday, August 5th.
How early would you get there on Thursday?
It depends on what you guys are doing. I mean, I have infinite leave pretty much, so I can take the whole day off. If you guys are getting there later, I could do work in the morning and leave at lunchtime. Yeah, I could do anything. I mean, I could do what I did a couple trips ago or whatever and get there at like midnight after putting the kids down. I'm not really sure.
You should go Wednesday. Clearly that's the...
I'm probably not going Wednesday.
I looked at my options. I was going to work in the morning, and I guess I still could. I was thinking about taking the train, working on the train.
Mm-hmm.
But then I've got to get to Newark from the new house, which is not easy. And then, it's like 4.5 or 5 hours door to door. I looked at the bus, which would be just insane because I would have to like take a New Jersey Transit bus into the city. So I think I'm renting a car. I have a rental car booked, actually, for noon on Thursday to noon on Saturday. The downside being the rental car place closes at noon. So if I do not make it back by noon on Saturday, I get charged for 2 extra days. So that would really suck.
I mean, you know what else you could do? I don't know why you're being so defeatist. You could just buy a car in the next month.
I have like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks to buy a car.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Come on, man.
But anyways, for now, I've got a car rental booked.
I don't think I would leave significantly after like 9 anyway, so I think it would be fine from your perspective. If I even stay Friday night.
Thursday, I actually have Thursday night booked. I thought you had booked Thursday night, but I guess not. I am booked in the new MGM Tower, the former Water Club.
And Dave's in
Borgata.
Ocean?
He does have Ocean booked, but if we are, like if you were staying in Borgata, he would stay in the second. I have a 2 queen. Mm-hmm. So he would stay at Borgata.
Just stay with you.
That night.
Okay.
Friday, I have no comps anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
My cheapest room is the West Tower at Tropicana, which we just mentioned, your absolute favorite room in Atlantic City, $130.
It's like probably 1,000 days since one of them exploded because of meth.
That's true.
That's a good run.
And I can be the one to restart the counter.
I'm probably not getting there if you only have it for one night.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not an expert on the intricacies of meth making, but
me neither.
I think you have to be at it for a little bit.
So I would have to pay resort fees, which sucks, because I am a lowly gold member.
Filthy gold member.
Do you know if you get comped anywhere on Friday? Why did I ask that? Because now you're going to go look.
Yeah, I don't, but I can check. I didn't as of like a month ago last time you asked me to check. I mean, I could get Golden Nugget 365 days a year, so...
So the last time we talked about this offline, like 2 weeks ago, there was a discussion of like Borgata one night, Boardwalk the next night. But I'm not particularly wedded to that at all. Like I get everywhere basically Thursday night, so I could do like Caesars Thursday and Golden Nugget Friday or whatever. It doesn't really make it that much of a difference to me. Or just stay in the West Tower both nights.
Let me just check Caesars now. That's the only one I'm really
unsure about. It's come down significantly since 2 weeks ago. I will say that.
$47 at Tropicana.
That's very
that's
cheap.
Not comp. And $107 at Caesars, and $315 at Harrah's. So I guess they've got some convention or something happening.
You know what you got to do? Add me as a companion.
Comps on Friday, August 18th everywhere, if that helps.
That's weird. It helps not at all, but it's strange.
I could add you as a companion, I guess, but not now.
Yeah, so not so expensive that it's like, well, I obviously could not stay. Oh, it's gone up for me. Oh no, Tropicana's $154 now.
I have to say, as much as I've shit on the West Tower on this show, and it's been a lot, it is cheaper than the Chelsea Tower, and like those rooms are nicer than the Chelsea Tower rooms.
I agree completely. The Chelsea Tower rooms are
awful.
Very, very bad.
Like the West Tower is not pleasant, but it's so much better than the Chelsea Tower, which is like a legitimately unpleasant experience. I'd say on par with when we stayed in the Claridge Tower at Ballet's.
Slightly better.
Maybe worse?
No, a little bit better.
Yeah, probably better. Oh, but it's so bad. Like your room was bad.
It was very bad. We went to Vegas, and I said how I didn't like switching rooms, and I wouldn't want to do it again. And then here we are on a 2-night trip in Atlantic City.
I would probably
whatever, switching rooms is fine.
Try to stay in the same room 2 nights.
Okay.
If I did 2 nights.
That was my follow-up question.
And I assume I would rather do the Boardwalk during the summer than Golden Nugget, where I know for sure I could get 2 nice comps.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would rather stay on the Boardwalk, especially because I want to go to the Hook, which we'll get to in a planning episode. I have a bunch of things I want to do. Good Dog Bar, Hook. Good Dog Bar is kind of close to Knife and Fork. Think about it.
What I should do is I should call up resorts probably and see what sort of prices they would give me.
True.
Because it just says that I can't do it online. It doesn't actually say how much it would cost me to get a room on Friday night.
So I had a question that I don't think we can answer.
Okay.
Because we don't know if we're actually staying Friday night, which is,
Sure.
Should we have a meetup on Friday night? Friday night in the summer, probably a lot of people there,
Uh-huh.
but we don't
But we don't know if we're staying.
we're
We can hold it for next episode.
Yeah. We're just super short notice. It's going to be like, we're having a meetup in 4 days, guys. This episode's going to
should be
post
fine.
10 minutes before. Sounds perfect. But I would say if you're somebody who is absolutely itching to come to a Due for a Win, one of our legendary meetups,
Yeah.
make sure you don't plan anything the evening of Friday, August 4th. It may not happen. I would say
we
it's
can
probably
also
less
do it
than
on-
50% likely to happen.
On the 3rd when we're more sure we're going to be there.
Yeah, but Thursday night,
Come on, man. Don't you remember college? It was a big drinking night.
we're 40.
We are 40. Sunday was also a huge drinking night. The weekend definitely bled over a little bit in both directions.
I mean, if we're in Atlantic City, Thursday will be a big drinking night. But that is not the question. The question is other people who would otherwise be flocking to the shore, flocking to the world's playground to see us. They may have work on Friday, can't come down on a Thursday evening, maybe coming from such faraway places as the Midwest, Texas, who knows, the UK, could be coming from anywhere. It's harder to do that on a Thursday than on a Friday. Anything else to add about this trip? Because we did not say anything definitive about this trip, other than it is happening.
I mean, I certainly haven't planned anything myself, but yeah, it'll happen.
I felt very proud of myself. I got the rental car booked. I have one night booked that I probably won't even use.
Yep.
It's good. I think I have booked and canceled at Borgata like 7 times since I actually stayed at Borgata last.
Uh-huh.
The one thing in Borgata's favor, first of all, they're just spamming me with free burlesque show tickets.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're going to be Thursday night, too. You could go.
I could probably figure out a way to go to both burlesque and hook in the same night.
Yeah,
There's
if you did
just so
there's like a
much.
6 o'clock hook or something, right?
There's 7 o'clock hook and a 9 o'clock hook.
I feel like burlesque was right around 9.
But also I get $75 slot play at Borgata. That's a lot for me. A lot.
Yeah, I get something like that, too.
And the big news today, by the way, I have to take advantage of my last fleeting months of MGM Gold because I can no longer just match back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to Hyatt.
Well,
disappointing.
If you lose MGM Gold, you're going to have to match to something so you can match back in Atlantic City. Do you know if anyone's doing a match right now?
I mean, Hard Rock always is doing tier match.
So you could just do a match there and then match back to MGM Gold.
But I don't know. A lot of places don't accept Hard Rock status because they're too generous with the match. So I don't know if other places will take the Hard Rock status.
Well, luckily, I still am Caesar's Diamond, so I don't know when that party's going to stop.
Nice.
Get that Founders card again, Craig.
I could. I've never had the Founders card, but I don't think I
thought you
go
did,
enough.
for some reason. No, it's not worth it. 100%
Like none
not
of these things. Like you can always just spend your way to MGM Gold. It's not that much. It's doable. But like again, I'm surely not getting good value.
Such a waste.
Right.
Such
like I might as well just pay resort fees.
Right.
As versus I am to paying resort fees. Any other thoughts?
Nope.
Nothing on the schedule. Nothing actually confirmed. Next episode, I want to have everything planned out. Scheduled down to the minute.
So when's Dave leaving on Friday? Is it like night?
I don't know. I don't know.
You've been sending me a lot of messages about Dave's schedule. I thought you were more in the loop.
There are people who are like, I don't think I can go, but I'll try. Like, I don't know. This is our lives right now.
I mean, I'm available.
Yeah.
It's not my live ever.
Are you coming with me to the Hook?
No, I don't think so.
I'm fine going solo. I've said that before.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going. And I'm going to Cheval de Plongée.
That's right.
Eh.
I'll be at Burlesque instead.
You'll be at the horse dive bar or the
horse dive bar.
Dive bar. The horse dive bar or the horse dive bar. This is gonna break my brain.
Just the best content. All right.
It was a great episode.
Yeah. Anyway, if that sterling episode wants to make you reach out to us or any of our other listeners, you can do so at our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/DoForAWin. Find all of our great content at DoForAWin.com. Reach out to Craig on Twitter at DoForAWin or me at Kyle Askin, and send Craig questions to DoForAWin@gmail.com. How's our inbox?
We got a mention that the resort fee has gone up at Borgata. It's now $36.
That's is not so bad in a vacuum, but that's like a kick in the gut considering it was like 20 or something before, right? 25? I feel like that's a significant increase.
And it was one of the lowest in the city.
I think it was the lowest, right? And now it's probably like on the high side of things.
It's
just only below
same
Caesars.
As Ocean. It's 3 cents more than Resorts. It's less than all the Caesars properties. It's now more than Hard Rock and Golden Nugget. Assuming that those haven't changed. It was all the way up to $29.99 at last check.
Okay, so it was 30 before. All right.
But it's steadily gone up, which, it was weird that it was, for a while, it was like significantly the lowest resort.
We'll have to do a Borgata trip soon, even if we don't do it this episode, or this trip. I would prefer to stay on the boardwalk myself, I think, in the summer.
Yeah, you know why they're raising that rate, though? Because they need to incentivize us to play our way to gold.
I'm not playing my way to gold.
Since the match is going away.
It's not happening. All right. Well, any last words, Craig?
I don't think so. Gotta go kill some spiders.
Yeah, man. Living that spider life.
Fix my air conditioning. Fix my fridge.
I hope you don't die via centipede attack.
Fix my garage. Centipedes, they don't mess with humans. They're just very fast and disgusting looking.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for listening, and we'll be back in a couple weeks.
I think after this episode, the demand for you to have another guest on is going to be through the roof.